Good afternoon. We're back for another episode of Business Acceleration Playbook, where we are bringing you the plays that you need to win in your business. I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Chanel and Angela, and I'm excited about the topic today. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite tools to use in your business. And I kind of wanted to, I thought about making a post earlier, but I decided not to, but just talking about a lot of people, when they think of tools, they only think of the marketing tools. But there are so many business tools out there and available to use for every aspect of your business. And for me, that's definitely been a game changer on being able to extend what I need to do in my business without hiring somebody for each and every thing that goes on, which is a huge savings in a small business. And I know Chanel and Angela, you all both probably have your own favorite tools that you have as well. And I'm actually excited about this conversation because I'm curious to see what you all have to say. I love learning new tools and figuring out, oh, I've not heard of that, and all those kind of things. So first of all, I'll let you all jump in and say hi to everybody, Chanel and Angela, and then we'll start talking about our favorite tools.
Well, hello, good morning. Or afternoon, right? Because y'all on East
Afternoon
Coast.
for me.
That's right.
Well, good morning to the West Coast. And good afternoon, East Coast, and good evening, Europe. And I don't know about anybody else's time zone. Well, now that I have everyone covered of the three places I know, how are you guys doing? I feel like every time we start off the podcast, we get straight to business, and we have so much depth and personality, and I just feel like we missed that, right? Like, we're so intelligent and capable, but this is not corporate America, so we can talk about ourselves.
This is
right?
true. This is true. I'm actually doing great.
Okay.
I have my little plant friend behind me here. I've been spending a lot more time messing with all my plants. I know it involves dirt, which Chanel, you're not there for that, but I am there for it. So I love that. It always puts me in a better mood. There's actually a lot of psychology behind, getting your hands in the dirt that you should look into before you make a hard, fast rule on no dirt. But I digress.
Don't digress. That's called my Succulent Sundays and my Overcome the Overwhelm. So much of my writing is what can we learn from our plants and nature and everything else. So, yeah, me, we're 100% on board on the same topic there.
Love it.
Well, how are you? What's going on, Angela? How you doing?
So I wore my very, very expensive shirt today. Can you see?
Yes,
Yep.
USA.
Yes, because I registered for all of my national qualifiers today.
Okay.
And I spent...
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I spent so much money that Visa called me to verify my credit card charges.
Okay. Well, good.
So,
next time, share the wealth. Spend
Look for my GoFundMe campaign coming somewhere near you very soon, because apparently racing for Team USA is really, really expensive.
I would imagine. I think
expensive enough that Team USA Visa calls me and says, "What the heck are you doing?"
Do you seek out sponsorships at all?
I haven't in the past, because I've always raced at a high level, but I haven't really spent the time and the money on nationals, right? Like going to, once you qualify for Team USA, that's when the prices just start jumping, because you have to qualify every year again. And those race prices, the events, the quality that they're trying to put out there costs more money. Okay, it's not like it's not value added. It's just now you're racing with everybody else at the same pace as you. So that's a lot of fun. But there's just a lot more safety involved. There's drug testing involved, right? So there's more medics on the scene because it's definitely more competitive. There's referees, they're paid. So there's umpires running around on motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
And they write your number down if you're too close to the cycle in front of you and whatever else. So traveling costs more money to make sure that you have all the fast people in the same place. And so it's a significant commitment to get to that level. But then there's a significant financial commitment. I would say the overall cost, it will add an additional $5,000 to $10,000 to my race budget for the year for racing Team USA. like to do all the national qualifiers, and then going to Worlds alone will cost me $4,000 just for travel. Like, and then just if you want to keep racing at that level, then you also have to have the top level equipment all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer, hey, I have a bicycle that I ride for 10 years. You have to stay on top of every new piece of equipment. Your Team USA uniforms are a couple $100 each, and you must race in the uniform of the year. So it adds up pretty quick.
So that's why you don't ask for sponsorships? I'm confused.
No, because I never.
Show's like that to me. That screams sponsorship. You need a sponsor.
I never raced with the Team USA before.
Oh, you said this is your first time. Got it.
This is right. Okay. Like, so this is the first time where I've chosen to go that route. Like, I've chased it and gotten it, and in the past I hadn't chased it. I qualified for nationals. Sometimes I went, sometimes I didn't. Mm-hmm. I just had fun. You know, it was more for the experience. I had a young child. My child's not that young anymore. So my goal, I don't know if anybody knows how old I am, but my goal has always been to be faster than my child up until he's 15. So that's this year. Like, he just turned 14. He'll turn 15 at the end of this calendar year. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to, like, stay in front of him.
I mean, I'm impressed by that entirely.
I'm just saying, like it's getting a lot harder. So his run is definitely faster than my run now on shorter distances. Longer distances, I can outbrain him. On the bike, he's got a really good, powerful bike, but he doesn't have it for long distance. Like, his brain isn't in the game yet. And that's normal for that age, right?
Yeah. Right.
I definitely still...
Age, though. I don't think I could do it.
I
am too ADHD for that. I'd be like, all right, what's next? I'm really bored with this. I can't do this anymore.
So so last year it was the very first time that we raced the exact same course with the exact same start time. And I knew I had the swim, right? Like, the swim is my baby. It's always been my baby. Watch out. I'm in the water. So I knew I was good, but then it was an out and back. So you turn around coming back and you see your competitors as you're coming back. And I'm like, well, wait, my kid's a little bit too close to me for comfort. And I'm like, I got to put some speed on the bike, because I know once he gets on the run, he'll close up on me. So I'm like, speed as fast as I can, which I should be doing anyways, but I'm thinking, I'm like, I cannot let my kid catch me. I need space. Yeah. And then I get on the run. It was one of my fastest run splits all season, because I'm like, cannot let the kid catch me. And he was 45 seconds behind me. So in the overall race, like, all age groups that were racing, male and female, I took first in my age group, second for the females, but I was 6th overall, and he was 7th overall.
Wow.
And so I was like, I'm like running like this, like running scared. So it was fun. It was a great day. Like, I love going out and having that family time. It was much harder with my child on the course. Like, in the past, I've raced with my brothers and friends, and I don't have to worry about their safety, but I'm still like mom mode, and it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to focus when you're in mom mode. I much prefer when he was doing kid races. I'll go and watch you. Now you can come watch me. Like, that's all good. I got that. But when we're both on the course together, it was hard. It was hard to get my brain in the game, for sure.
I can see that. Like, sometimes my mom will, like, invite me to do things that she does with her friends, and I don't always participate. And not because I don't want to per se, but I just think that she's entitled to do things on her own, right? And so, and vice versa. Like, sometimes your children suck the fun out of the room, and sometimes you suck the fun out of the room, right?
My kids suck the fun out of the room a lot. Right. I love them, but they do.
Right. It's the real thing. Like, we don't talk about it enough. Like, sometimes your presence is really, like, as good a natured as you are and as fun as you could be, sometimes you suck the fun out the room. You don't need to, right? But, like, it's okay to step back sometimes, even in any relationship, like, you know, non-platonic relationships too. Like, learning that, you know, maybe he wants to invite you out on boys' night, but don't go. Like, this is off on a tangent, but, like, I have a friend, every time we have girls' night, she brings her man. And so I told her, I was like, it said girls' night. He's not one of the girls. And she was like, well, we don't get to go out very often, so we got a sitter. So he just came. We didn't think you'd have a problem. I was like, it says girls' night. So if he comes, right, then everybody else's man is like, well, how come he can come and how come we can come? And why are y'all all like Hugh Hefnering this man? Because y'all all dressed up and cute to go out, and he's the only guy. So now it looks like, you know,
he the man.
Yeah. No, like that's just not how it goes. I'm having a weird hair day. So I know we can like slide into it since I don't know who's got us off topic, but I wanted to tell y'all. So yesterday, I've been having quite the week. Yesterday, this is like you talk about like having good tools and delegating. And I think I told you guys like I'm starting to hit a wall, like I need to learn how to delegate. So step one is I have found out that I do like Asana. And I just don't like boards. So I like the list view in Asana.
Yep.
So I never knew that was a thing.
Gotcha.
But once I found out that there's a list option and then it opens up to another screen and you can put in your information, I'm there. I've been checking my boxes, y'all. So Asana is my project management tool.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I like Asana. It's a good one. Yep.
It is good.
Yeah, I held my commitment. So if you were here last week, let's end the suspense. That's what it is. But Asana, and I said I'm gonna give it 90 days. Whoa, I just dropped my inhaler, so I'm gonna have to stop in a second and get that. But step two, I am like really getting close to the like delegate point because I was so distracted yesterday. I didn't eat. I was ready to eat, so I put the pan on the stove, and instead of putting olive oil on the pan, what do you guys think I put in there? Let's see if you can guess. I'll give you each of you a guess. Maria, what do you think I put in there? Oh no, Angela. Okay, what do you think I put in there?
So was it the same color as olive oil?
Uh-uh.
Okay, then I gotta think for a second.
Maria.
Because my white wine vinegar is in a dark green bottle and it's right next to my olive oil. So if I was going to be distracted, I would grab and put vinegar in before the olive oil. Like that would be a thing.
That's your guess?
I'm going to go way out there.
Because you said it wasn't the same color. So now I got to go something different.
It can be anything.
I'm going to say your phone. I'm going to say your phone.
Okay. No, your dish soap.
Yep, dish soap.
Dish soap. You were getting ready to watch. Did you eat it?
No, it's worse. So I heated it up.
Is it smoky?
It's something. It's a lot of stuff at once. And then because I put it in, I was like, wow, that smells strange. But I had also already put the chicken in it. And so I had to put it away. Yeah. And so that's actually not the worst of my day because that wasn't enough, right? I was curling my hair, which is the reason why I keep playing with my hair today is because I didn't do anything to it. And I usually try to at least like, I don't know, curl it or something. It just kind of, now it's just kind of hanging there. But hopefully the headband will distract people now that I brought attention to it, right? But I was curling my hair and you can't, I don't know, can you guys see it? I burned my entire, I put some makeup on to distract it. I burned this entire part of my eyelid with the curling wand. Don't know. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had it in my hand and I zigged when I should have zagged. And I was like, oh my God, it was less than a second, right? Like it just hit it, but it was 400 degrees because I need that for this hair. And now you can't see it, but I have maybe you can a little, I have a blister.
You can see a little bit right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a blister.
Looks like someone socked you in the face.
Yeah, great. Thanks. And
you're the one who's sticking your eye in the camera.
Right. No, obviously I don't, I'm not trying to hide it. I did put on makeup so that it wouldn't be so pronounced. Like if I didn't say anything, you probably wouldn't have noticed. But like,
I wouldn't have noticed it if you hadn't said anything.
I wouldn't have. But now we're talking about it.
It's okay. Yeah.
You're the one that brought it up though, so it's your fault.
So as I am like becoming more, because I feel like transparency is important. So I did bring it up. I think that people see success as this pretty one-dimensional framework, this nice packaging. Because my hair doesn't look terrible, but my hair, I have headband on. I usually
look good. I think it looks good. You're over here like my hair looks so awful. I'm like I don't even know what to say about mine. But continue. Yeah,
but like that's the thing. Like you get online and it's very performative, right? Or it can be. And so, and I think in mine instance specifically, like most of the time I try to look like I try to look like I intentionally put myself together, whatever that means, right? And I say all that to say that people don't always get to know like the behind the scenes, right? And so yesterday, some things have happened. And so I was just like all disheveled. I had 5 sales calls yesterday, which is uncharacteristic. I usually don't do much on Mondays. And I think I shared with you guys last time that I had COVID for almost 6 weeks. And so like, it's just a lot of things happening with me. And so this is my first real week back at work, right? Like I'm stacking on the sales calls. My assistant is going full throttle. I'm rolling out a new program. So a lot's happening. And I'm also trying to be more intentional with my time. So I think that the universe is yelling at me at this point because, like, I've done some things, but come on, soup. I mean, so look, I said soup.
Soap.
Soap in a pan and burning my eyes. Not only is it a cry for help, it's like it's a scream. So it was interesting because I couldn't open the. So behind the scenes, guys, you know, if you want to do a podcast, we're pretty organized on the back end, and we have a list that tells us every week what we're going to discuss. And so I couldn't open it the other day. And I was like irritated because I couldn't open it from my phone. I was like, whatever, it's one more thing. And so this morning I woke up, I was like, oh, great, we're going to talk about tools because clearly I need to start like implementing more tools to take some pressure off of myself because I'm doing so much that I'm causing myself harm and I almost poisoned myself. I mean, I probably wouldn't have eaten it because I don't imagine that soap congeals or burns or something, but I turned it off, threw it away, and then I just didn't eat. I was like, I'm done. Done with food, done with hair. But I'm here. So I guess like the tag for that is, even though I'm more organized, I clearly need some time management skills or something. So Asana has helped me though. And I want to share with you, for anybody who's watching, why you need tools and how my catastrophic day yesterday really should have thrown me off, but it didn't cause me any harm. So, well, business.
Other than a burnt eye. But other than that, I mean, on your business, it didn't cause harm, right?
It didn't cause you any emotional.
Oh, well, that's not true either. I'm very into my face.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very into this face, so trust me. I like this face. I've had it for a while. I've kind of gotten used to it. And like my eye, but we won't go there. We'll spend the next hour if y'all trying to coach me through this. So I woke up yesterday morning though, and usually I don't know what I'm gonna post. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I went through and I put in like for every social media, either I already created the post or I said what I was gonna talk about. And then so I wake up in the morning, create the post. But yesterday I had created the post for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So that was already out the way. I didn't have to worry about pushing any content. And you're like, who cares, right? Like, why? The person who's watching probably like, why do I care? Well, I was able to set up 2 appointments from my post that I made yesterday. And I didn't have to think about them. So more and more, the more organized I become, it might take me 4 hours or 5 hours to bulk content create. But if I do it 5 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday, then the rest of the week, I wake up in the morning, all I'm doing is posting, or in the afternoon or whatever I'm doing it, and I'm not tethered to any sort of system. And I do have more time to do sales, or like yesterday, take a nap in the middle of the day, usually midday. I'm kind of stressed out about when am I going to post? Do I go live? Like, what am I going to do, right? So the tools that I've been using, like Asana, it allowed me time freedom. And I'm big on time freedom. I'm a proponent of doing nothing as often as possible. And so, you know, and I nap. Like, I think I've said this before. I take a nap every day. As an entrepreneur, one of the things I committed myself to was taking naps. And so, as best I can, I try to take a nap every single day. And, like, I'm really good at it. Like, I'll take a nap at 6 o'clock to 6:15 just to make sure I get in my nap. I know y'all like, you're insane. But like, I'm one of those people, like, do you know you're non-negotiable? In a crisis, mine's asleep. Like, usually it's like food or something like that. Do y'all have non-negotiables?
Mine's sleep, but I can't sleep during the day. I cannot sleep during the day.
I love naps.
I'll just lay there.
I will take a nap. I was so grateful when I was pregnant. I was only working 2 or 3 miles. Like, I was still corporate America, but I was only 2 or 3 miles from the house. Mm-hmm. I went home every single day and took a nap. That was great. It made pregnancy bearable. Like, I know some people love being pregnant. I did not love being pregnant.
I don't either. People assume I do just because I've had so many pregnancies, but I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, you're crazy, but that's all right. No judgment. Love you. And, I just needed. I'm an absolute power proponent of naps after workouts. So maybe you didn't know this. I'll throw in some science because that's my role here. You can only get hits on the human growth hormone when you're sleeping and when you work out. And you can get up to 4 hits a day. And the way you do that is working out twice a day and sleeping twice a day. And the way you make that happen is a nap. So get up in the morning, do your workout, take a nap somewhere around mid-noon or something, do your workout in the evening, go to bed. That's your 4 maximum to max out your time and the way the human body is able to support its growth and speed work. So nap it is.
That's
fascinating. Even meditation, if you actually get really, really good at meditating, you can stimulate that same sleepish feeling sometimes. I've read some studies on that because I know we're kind of getting off topic a little bit, but I think it's still important stuff to talk about. Like, I'm not good at sleeping during the day. I mean, sleep for the longest time, I wasn't even good at sleeping at night. I would sleep 2 or 3 hours a night. It was really terrible. I don't now. I get in my full 8 hours of sleep. That's a non-negotiable for me. A non-negotiable for me is I get my 8 hours of sleep. A non-negotiable for me is I get up first thing in the morning and I do yoga every single morning. That's just something that kind of sets the pace for my day. And I also get some type of exercise in every single day. And some of my workouts throughout the week are planned, but some of them are just, meant to just move my body because I'm not training for anything specific. So, I think those are mine. Those are things that kind of keep me going. And then my food, good quality food is something that I have to eat. I can't, like, you threw away your chicken, I'm crying for you because I'm like, I am a hungry girl. I have to eat. I can't go without food.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm working on. We talk about like tools to make your business work. I think this conversation is good because we will talk about like computer systems, but exercise or sleep, those are all like really tools in your belt that you have to know about yourself to make sure that you're efficient at best, right? Like having an efficient business can often lead to you being profitable. If you're not moving efficiently, you're either, something is lacking, right? And so like for me, I want to hire this girl. She makes meals, like a meal prep service. But let me tell y'all, this is a safe space and y'all can keep a secret. I have this aversion to meal prep places because I don't know that they're clean. And so if I can't see pictures of where you cook, I can't eat your food. And it's because I worked on campaigns for such a long time and I would knock on doors. And I cannot tell y'all, like, hoarding is a mental illness, so I don't want to make light of it. But I can tell you that hoarding is a very, very, very common thing. And unfortunately, what comes along with hoarding is just not discarding of waste properly. And cleanliness tends to go to the wayside with hoarding. And so that causes me great concern. And because, like, I can't tell you how many times I knock on the door and I was like, oh my God, luxury, wealth. And they would open the door and I'll be like, wow, never done a Bushfire cover, right? So I have just gotten out of habit of doing meal prep. But then I was like, the reality is, like, just find some place that has a kitchen. Like, don't buy it from Chanel's cooking service, right, where I cook out of my house. Buy it from a place that has some sort of brick and mortar, like a ghost kitchen or something. You can find that. Like, I am very resourceful. Like, I can find anything on the internet if I'm looking for it.
So we have a development in Columbus, Ohio. We have a development kitchen, and all of the beginners, like, so your food preppers and things like that, even the food trucks, they rent the kitchen because a lot of the food trucks are not allowed to prepare food. They're only allowed to warm food.
Right.
I have friends who actually have a food truck that's certified to prepare, but 98% of them do not prepare, they only warm. And so if you go to that particular place, you can find all the food preppers who are doing whatever, like, obviously. So I buy from a place called Fitness 360. I don't buy from them regularly, but sometimes I'm out of time and I want healthy food, and they bring it to my front door on Sunday night. Thank you. Exactly.
We have those, right? We call them ghost kitchens because they're just like ominous, and there's like a bunch of different restaurants that can possibly share the kitchen. And so talk about getting out of your own way. So step one, like, my commitment is to find a meal prep company. I just think that I'm just in a space where I like to be transparent about my business. I'm scaling. I'm in the process of starting 2 new businesses. And so I have Airbnb right now. I do Airbnb coaching. I guess I can announce it here. I'm coming out with Friday Face. So it's a cosmetics line. And so to start off with lashes, like lash, like eye products and lip products, because that's really where, and highlight. That's my face,
The
right?
lashes scare me.
They scare
I
you?
have, talk about aversions. I have
I don't know how to
aversion
put them
people
on.
touching my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of putting lashes on my eyes makes me want to cry. I'm not gonna lie. But they look beautiful on people.
They do. They really change your face, and it's so interesting because I usually wear lashes on here because I'm not a foundation kind of person, but I love a good lash. But I have this blister on my eye, so I'm not gonna put glue on the blister and then have to.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, again, we're getting off topic, but I'm sorry you brought this up. But does it stick to your normal lash? Like I just like imagine like you just take it off and it's like all your lash like waxing.
No, it's an adhesive. It's not a I guess I don't know what wax is, but it's not.
You don't know what wax is?
No, like glue is an adhesive, so it's designed to attach to things, but it's not meant to like remove my lash. So I put it on my eyelid, not my eyelash. So that's step one. And I have so many of them; they're just short. So even if they're like sparse, there's plenty of them to go. I want them to stay though, because now I can't wear any, and I'm just like, wow, my eyes are so bare. But I digress. So that's one of the things I'm working on, and I have a cool way that I want to do the cosmetics line. So I'm working on that, and I think it's the stress of change. So since I'm committed to talking about tools, I have learned to ask for help. That's my second tool. I'm up for two, so I gotta stop talking so y'all can say one. But my second one is asking for resources. And I reached out to a friend who sells physical products, and I was like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you help me? And so she has given me her quick, fast tutorial on how to vet reputable companies to wholesale. And because I was on this one website for like 3 hours trying to make sense of it, I spent 5 minutes talking to her, and I probably would have paid thousands of dollars making poor decisions because everything I thought was right was wrong. And so it's not a physical tool, but don't be afraid to ask people who you know are in that same space to help you. And even if you don't know them, like slide in somebody's DMs and saying, hey, I see that you sell t-shirts with sayings on them. Do you buy them wholesale? Would you mind sharing with me? Because I want to do cosmetics, but like oftentimes people who sell, like wholesale vendors, sell lots of things wholesale, or you want to buy wholesale furniture, whatever. And so just me exploring that option saved me a world of time. So
absolutely. Well, and I think I think a lot of people do think that tools just means online tools and stuff, which we are going to talk a little bit about that. But I like that you mentioned, just asking for help or having people kind of walk you through the steps of or whatever, because that is definitely something that is a tool in itself to be able to kind of get you through stuff that would have taken you so much time and cost you so much money. And I think that, when you think of what a tool is for, to me, it is, when you're talking about business, it is something that's going to do both of those. It's going to save me time and money. So, I think those are great. I know, as far as, kind of talking about some online business tools, one of the things that I really like, because I do have employees in 2 of my businesses that I own, is I use Bamboo HR. It's an HR service that keeps all of my legal documents. It can, it does it's your HR department, for you. And then I just have somebody that I pay that's an HR manager that just manages all the documents and stuff in there. That keeps me legal on all those things, which is a big, huge thing for me because I'm not HR. I don't do well at HR. I'm actually an HR person's nightmare because I say things that they're like, why would you even say that? Yeah, I do. So I'm actually an HR person's nightmare. In reality, that's not my strength. So to have kind of that kind of takes care of all that kind of stuff, I don't have to worry about it. So that has been a big game changer for me as far as, my businesses, especially the ones that have employees. Now, if you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, you don't have any employees, you probably don't need a tool like that at this moment. But once you start to hire in employees, it's a good idea to look at something like that. It pays for itself for sure.
Yeah. So my tool that I would say, I think even all of us use, is Canva. They recently, just this year, added the ability to schedule your social media from their channel directly. So you can add that in. So I have my personal, so I have Angela J. Buckley. No, Angela J. Buckley is on Instagram for my racing and my L porn and all my like Angela's Random Crazy. And then the Creatively Efficient is my business postings of the mindset and the leadership development, Succulent Sundays, Overcome the Overwhelm, all that focus work. It's all the focus work that allows me to do the fun stuff, right? So I can do all of that from Canva, and that saves me an absolute ton of time. My workday, I usually get up at 4 a.m. I have an hour commute. I want to ride my bike for an hour before I get up. Like the day is long if you're going to do endurance sports. And one thing that I don't need to worry about is when's my social media going to get posted. I understand that using Canva will probably hurt me in the metaverse AI.
You're not going to win that. Don't even get me started. You're not going to win that anyway.
I'm not going to win that because I'm not going to spend the time to win that. But what I know is that when I'm consistent, I get a following. And when I'm inconsistent, I don't. And when I try to use the platform the way they intend it, I'm inconsistent. I just can't do it every single day. So I will post. I spend my Saturday mornings also making sure that my social media is mostly ready and available to go for the week. And then that way, if the day gets so crazy, minimum one post a day, but I try to add in throughout the week, hey, there's a beautiful sunset. I am a huge snow fan. Like it's been snowing. So, an extra workout of cross-country skiing. I'm like a little girl spinning in my head, right? Like I'm so excited. I love snow that much. So I'll post something, right?
That's where we differ. I'm like the grouchy old man or old lady. I'm like, it's cold and it makes me a very unhappy person.
I love snow. If you're out moving in it, it's so fun. It's so beautiful. And, Sound of Music, Snowflakes That Lay on My Snow and Eyelashes. Like I've been singing that since I was 5 years old. So that's a thing for me. So it just makes me super happy. But sharing that, right? Like that's the whole point of the Instagram. So I'm using Canva, and I'm very happy that I can now do all of my posting from within Canva. It is a huge game changer for me.
Yeah. Scheduling posts is super helpful. And I probably should schedule more posts, but right now I'm just trying to figure out my cadence of where I want to post, what I want to do, and I just haven't gotten really good at it. So what was it? Ask. So there are two sites that I really like, and they're tools that help me when I'm trying to figure out what to post. One of them is Ask Socrates, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but Ask Socrates, you go in, you type in a keyword, so like Airbnb or how to like overwhelm or something like that. It'll tell you what people are Googling, what people are discussing about the topic. Trends. And that kind of helps me, and that helps me build around what content I'm going to talk about. And I would say in general, it's pretty spot on. The caveat I suppose I would add on is that if you're not talking about something that's super popular, it doesn't always help, but it gives you a guide. So for example, maybe your focus is overcoming overwhelm through divorce or through being a single parent or through, I don't know, I'm just naming things.
Business professionals, female, right? Like
get a new job as a CEO, as a business owner, as menopause, as whatever, right? And so I guess life change and transitions. So it doesn't let you pare down to that point, but it will clue you in about what people are questioning about overwhelm. So maybe that's depression, anxiety, whatever. I should stop saying whatever. Whatever subject. Okay, I can't stop. Brain. It just helps give you a guide. So Ask Socrates is something that I use all the time.
I've never used it. Now I'm over here Googling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones. What's that? There's one called like Content Generator, or I did something like that. There's several out there. You can actually just put in Ask Socrates alternatives, probably, and you can come up with a whole list of them. But yeah, those are good things to look at. Another thing I like to do is I like to just get and do just some research just on social media. You know, research some hashtags that are on there. You know, hashtags don't get used the same way they used to. I still tell people, put a few of them on there. They don't get utilized the way that they used to be once upon a time, but you can still find subjects that are kind of in that world. Like if you know you're wanting to, you know, find other people that, you know, you mentioned burnout. I mean, just look up, you know, the word burnout, look up synonyms to burnout, look up, you know, stuff like that. You can kind of search through posts and see what are people talking about. It gives you kind of a good idea on what are some subject matters that are out there, like what's causing all the conversation, you know, within the comments and stuff. And obviously you don't want to like steal their post, but you know, it might kind of get your own ideas of flowing on something that you can also post about. And sometimes I've even said, hey, I seen this great post, and I'll tag it and then give my own opinion on it, or something like that. Because, you know, I think sometimes people overthink a lot of the posting. I think scheduling, like if you can like batch, especially, and like make some posts and schedule them out based on, you know, what you want to talk about in a given week, month, quarter, you know, whatever. That is a great way to get some stuff out there. And then it's just kind of go with the flow. What's going on with throughout the day? Like you mentioned, Chanel, you know, you had a crazy day yesterday. You squirted dish soap in your chicken and burnt your eyelid. And I mean, that's a story. That's stuff people can relate to, right? Because I mean, it might not be that exact same thing, but we've all had days where we're like, what the heck? You know, I've had dozens of them. So at that point in time, that, you know, connects you with a whole lot of people that may not have even paid attention if you were just saying what you did and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's a huge thing when you're thinking about kind of creating this stuff. You can use all kinds of tools, but you know, just don't overthink it, because I think we can sometimes get lost in that moment of just overthinking it. I wanted to mention, I know Chanel, you said you use Asana. I actually love Asana. I used to use Asana. We use Monday now. The only reason we use Monday is because my team liked Monday better. I actually liked Asana better. Yeah. But we, you know, if they're going to be using it, we're going to use the one they like better. But Monday is good. It's a good project management software as well. And I always tell people, you know, you're going to want some type of a project management software. So I don't care if it's Monday, Asana, Trello, whatever, but you're going to want something. And even if you're like me, I'm kind of like a hybrid. I like to write things down on paper. I use my dry erase boards, but I also want to put it, you know, in the cloud, quote unquote, because I need to be able to share it with people that aren't in the same room as me. And nobody wants to receive 1,000 screenshots of whatever I wrote from my phone. Because trust me, because I've got this for people, I'm like, I don't want this. Put it in something else that I can pull up, please. You know, I don't want to like zoom into every single word. Please don't do that. Another thing that I think is important to kind of mention, other than project management software, is like document signing. Like I use DocuSign. Probably most people use DocuSign. You know, that's a piece of software that has been a big game changer, opposed to like back in the day when we used to have to fax things back and forth. I can remember that, doing that in business, which there's still like 5 people out in the world that still have fax machines, and I somehow ended up with them. I don't even use a fax machine anymore. But like, can I fax it to you? I'm like, yeah, you can fax it back to like 2005. That's where you can fax it to, because that's where my fax machine is, because I don't have one anymore. But DocuSign is a good tool to get signatures and, you know, keep everything organized and in one place. Do you all use DocuSign, or what do you use?
DocuSign.
I'm on mute. I use DocuSign for the most part, though. I don't have many like contracty things that people sign. So and I guess we probably all have 3 very different business styles. I don't do much B2B. Most of what I do is B2C, and it's like single delivery, so it goes from me straight to them. So the onus is on me to produce the product. But I think that I don't engage much in that. I'm looking to move in that direction. I'm pivoting. That's the word. I'm pivoting into a different part of the Airbnb space. And so I would imagine that more and more it'll be lots of DocuSign. Like someone did send me a contract and they sent it to me on Google Docs.
Yeah.
And I was like, how on earth how do I turn this into a PDF and something that I can like actually sign from my phone? And there is like, I think I paid $2 or $3 for a one-time. It converts it into
like Adobe Acrobat.
Yeah. And that's actually a really cool tool. And one of the things I'm looking to do in my business, because I create workbooks and stuff. And so I've been sitting on probably 10 of them and I never send them out. And the reason why is because they need to be editable. So you can create them in Canva, which is great, but that's like somewhat of a limit for me because some of the stuff I do, I want it to be just not in Canva. And quite frankly, everybody doesn't have Canva. So you can send someone a Canva link, but then they have to go on Canva to view it, right? It's kind of irritating. And I want to streamline things. So one of the systems I'm looking into is figuring out maybe me and my friends can go in on a package and we all can use Adobe Editor, I think is what it's called, so that we can upload our work.
There's Creative Cloud. That's what we have. We have Adobe Creative Cloud. You get access to all of it. There's a few add-ons you can get, but I have the Creative Cloud, and it comes with Spark, it comes with Illustrator, it comes with Photoshop, it comes with all the things, and we use them all the time.
How much is it?
So, I'm wanting to say $60 a month if you have all of them.
But I also have it's $500, $600 a year at least.
Yeah. So it's like
we'll talk offline. Maybe I can buy
chunk of change.
So it ends up, I mean, we use it all the time. So for us, it pays for itself. I also have the Adobe Audition because we have all these shows that we edit the audio and stuff on. So we have Adobe Audition that, you can clean up audio and stuff on. So that's an additional, I think, $50 a month, or we usually pay it by the year too. If they get, we usually wait. It's funny. That's another thing I was going to mention about tools. I have it written down in my notes to do is just negotiate on your tools. What they have on the price, you can negotiate. If they don't say they have a free trial, I have always got a free trial. I will call and talk to them. I will get a free trial. Trust me. I get a free trial. Yeah. Well, and also talk to them because like Adobe, for example, they wasn't going to give me a discount on paying the year like I got the last year. And I was like, well, I'm just going to get a month then. If it's not going to save me any money, I'm going to keep my cash flow. So I paid for it for 1 month. And then lo and behold, magically, they gave you this offer. If I went ahead and paid the rest of the year, that I ended up getting 3 months for free if I wanted to convert back to an annual plan. So it actually ended up saving me more than if I would have went ahead and renewed on the annual. So just always kind of look at that kind of stuff because a lot of places they'll say, well, you get X amount off if you pay annual for the first year, but then it goes back to quote unquote regular price to where you're not saving anything going from the monthly to the annual, which some places aren't like that, but this one was. But so I was like, okay, well, keep my cash flow. I'm going back to paying monthly. And then I ended up saving more than I would have before. So don't be afraid to call and negotiate and ask. Just say, hey, do you have like a starter package? Can I get a free trial? Because you never know what works for one person doesn't work for another person. And before I started doing that, I can even tell you the amount of money I wasted on, like getting something that nobody liked and nobody used. And another thing, I know we mentioned this on another show a while back. If you do the free trial, put your cancellation date in your phone on a calendar with an alarm, because I have paid for stuff for months and then realized it later down the road where I'm like, well, crap.
Right. I cancel right away.
That's good.
Yeah. So as soon as I sign up, sorry, Angela. So don't wait on your calendar. As soon as you sign up, and
I'm done.
I usually, absolutely. And if I want to keep it, then I'll keep it. But that's the free game. Like, don't wait on your calendar because you can be busy or sleep or something, and then you miss it. And then if you put it in your calendar, say it's a 30-day trial, put the cancellation for 15 days. And then put another reminder for 10 days and another reminder for 5 days, giving yourself 3 chances. And that, like, don't just set a single reminder. But if you're me, log out, log back in, and cancel.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like it.
So first of all, when I use Canva, I also download to the PowerPoint slides so that it is editable so I can do the things that I need to do. And then from there, you can PDF it, right? But when it comes to workbooks, I pay someone. I don't do that level of work. That is not my level of focus. I want to do content creation. They can make it all pretty for me, and they do it with the Adobe, right? Like, hire someone who's good, who can do it faster, more effective, beautiful layout. You're responsible for that part of it. I do the content. So what I've been doing, okay, you use Asana, that's fine. I have Airtable, but it's the same thing. What I do is all of my quotes, my journal development, I put that all there and I send her everything. And we have already agreed on the template and the layout. She just downloads. It's just template dumping, and she does all that work for me. I don't do that.
Yeah. And you can sell those templates, Angela. I meant to tell you that last week, you can just get on Etsy and you don't have to charge a whole bunch, but like those worksheets that you make, you can obviously like remove your proprietary, like your labels and stuff, logos, and sort of things like that. And you can put them on Etsy. There are people who make like literally $100,000 a month selling worksheets because a lot of people don't have that technical acumen to do it. So then they sell it. And then you know how you really make money? So here's my free Etsy tip. Say you have a worksheet like the one you had last week, and I think it was gray, right? Make it
blue gray.
Yeah, make it blue gray. Make it white background. Then make it like we're gonna pretend. Make it a mauve background, and then make it like gold, right? So now you have 4 products. The game on Etsy is the amount of products you have. The higher up you get up in the algorithm, and then do that for every worksheet. So that you go from having you probably have 1,000 worksheets. So you go from having 1,000 worksheets to 5,000 or 6,000 of them just by changing the color. You can also give them font options. So you can get white background with 2 different font options and like carry that on with the colors and then bundling them. So you can have like an overwhelmed presentation for EQ for corporate professionals. I made all that up, right? And you can sell your presentation. So like those ones you make on Canva, sell them. Why wouldn't you sell them? Like it like once you have them, the reality is that unless it's just like your game changer, your pivot point is how you sell yourself, then obviously don't sell that one. But I'm sure you have dozens, if not hundreds of presentations. You're in corporate America, so you probably have hundreds of them. Go back to remove like
I don't sell my corporate America stuff, just to be clear. What I sell is my personal thing.
That's not what I meant. I meant
like during those hours.
No, when you're in corporate America, like you're
no corporate theft going on here.
Huh?
No corporate theft going on here.
Well, yes, let me correct myself. I was saying because you're in corporate America, you produce so much that I'm sure in your personal business, you're naturally used to you produce.
Yes, that's
right. Like it is in your nature to produce. Yeah. Like it was hard for me to get to that balance of production in my business after I got fired from corporate America, because in corporate America, you're incentivized to produce based on outside metrics and validators.
Yes.
In your business, you know, especially like you were smart. You started your business while you were in corporate America. You're in your zone of genius. And so you can still produce at that same rate. So when you do walk away from corporate America, you have already adapted to treating your business the same way you do your job.
That's what I'm trying to do, right? Like create my content, create that, have my backup, and then be prepared for the real launch, right? Like this is the build up energy.
Don't commit a white collar crime. That's not.
I'm not doing that. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw my hands up right there. No theft.
That's not even what. It's so funny because like that's not even what I like. It didn't even occur to me that someone would assume that, but you're right. Somebody would assume that's what I was saying. That's not what I meant. But you know, if you work while you're starting your business, that's the thing that I think that people really mean, right? Start your business while when you have your job. It's because it creates good success habits. Yes. I remember going through this incredible culture shock when I stopped working and stopped looking for a job, because that's the other piece. Whenever I haven't been working, I've been like stressed out about finding another job, and so I'm emotionally and mentally consumed for that, right? But this time I was like, I'm actually getting some money coming in, I have to turn this into a business. And I can remember specifically feeling like, and I'm still going through this now a little bit, it's better, but like this absolute anxiety, like, I can remember a perfect example. Sometimes I sleep in until 9. I think I've told you guys, I don't like to work before 10 a.m. I don't make my bed till I'm ready to, right? And so I still sometimes have a rough adjustment to, like, I'm the boss. Like, I remember one time my assistant texted me and I like rolled over. I was like, girl, you're the boss. You can't ignore the employee. What is wrong with you? So I like rolled back over immediately and sat up and was like, oh my God. And it was like a question that wasn't urgent or like, it didn't even necessarily need immediate attention, but it's my business. So It did need immediate attention, but it was so funny because I looked at it and was like, no, not now. You need, like, I think I even said in my head, protect your boundaries. I was like, fool, there are no boundaries. This is your business. Roll back over and answer the question. But it's funny because, you know, and I still, like I said, like, it's been a lot of huge change for me. And I'll probably, if I ever write autobiography, this period of my life will probably be the entire middle of the book because so many different things have like forced me into and out of things that I never thought would and wouldn't be here. But, you know, it's like that, like this keeping up with ways to the quality of life improvements. I know we didn't talk about those very much, but I like to, when I'm stressed out, which like right now is a good example of that. Y'all don't be like, my mental health is fine. I know y'all probably are listening to this like, this girl needs some couch time. I always need couch time, but just please understand I'm a busybody. So like 90% of what you're listening to is just me being a busybody. But I go on YouTube. YouTube is a great tool for me. I get business off of YouTube. I don't know why. Thank you, Lord. But you know, I definitely don't market myself, so to speak, on YouTube, but I am on there because people tell me to be. But when I'm really stressed out, I listen to these, I don't know, I'll type in money manifestation or I'll type in de-stress. And I am someone who is always thinking, like, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm always like, my brain is just constantly moving, which is part of the reason why I don't force myself to do things in the morning, because I was doing it and it created stress. So I listen to these Zen playlists on YouTube and I realize now that I'm peaking on stress. So when we hang up, I'm going to sit for 30 minutes and force myself to do nothing but listen to this playlist. The first 10 minutes, I'm like, am I going to make it? Like, this is not fun. I don't like this. And then like the middle 10 minutes, I'm like, I only have 10 more minutes. I only have 10 more minutes. And so then like I'm actually relaxed like 8 of the 30 minutes. But the first 10 minutes are just terrible for me. But it helps me realign my focus. So I know,
which is a tool. That's a tool.
Right. And I guess that's the reason why I want to talk about this, because I think that a lot of people are stressed and have lots of anxiety in their business and we don't address it enough. You know, you can't really change your business if you're not making money, period. You don't think you're doing well if you're not making money, period. That's just not the case. And so I try to separate money making activities from like different parts of my day. And so this Zen playlist, and I don't have one to recommend. I just go on YouTube, whatever picture I'm feeling right now. If it's a waterfall, it's a bird, it's a dog, whatever. I'm like, I'm low hanging fruit. I pick one and I listen to it and I'm trying to commit myself. And I notice that when I'm really stressed, I'll start like flipping through playlists and I'm like, Chanel, honey, that's not the point. Like the point is to relax, and this is not what you're doing. So if you're trying to find a way to help yourself, I highly recommend YouTube. Apple has them, but they're just not the same.
I'm going to have to go look at that. So if you look at my highlights reel on my Instagram and Creatively Efficient, I have one for nature, and it's, do you remember Vines? They no one really, I don't know what happened to them, but Twitter. That's what I did with my Vines is I would go out and get the waterfall or the bubbling brook or something like that. And I would just do those. But so now my highlight reel is basically that. So if you want to go watch waterfall on repeat for 15 seconds, that's my highlight reel or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they're really good. I highly recommend them. I'll look at yours too, but like,
I mean, whatever. I want to go see what other people are doing. But to your point, like, I feel like we all need a little bit of nature in our life. Maria has her plants. You don't like the dirt? I'll give you a waterfall.
I love water. So like, that's the thing. Okay, so for the record, I don't dislike dirt. That's weird. But, let me defend my city girl ladies. Dirt belongs with the grass though. and I am not a plant, so I don't need to be in the dirt. I love flowers though. I just, it's not my jam. But
It's all good.
I like the beach.
I will give you waterfalls.
Yeah, I like water. And I was just talking to my mom earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go. We have a lakefront here, and I was gonna drive down to the lakefront, and it's too cold."
You have a lakefront in Chicago? Where?
Are you being serious? Or are you messing with me?
I used to go to Chicago all the time. Of course, I've swum in that.
Yeah. So we go
Just laughing.
I'll just go to it's 6 degrees, so I won't be walking there today, but I will drive past it. It's too late in the day now, so probably tomorrow I'll get up at like 10 o'clock and I'll drive it, and I'll drive the whole thing from our far south, far north, and come back. And it's like literally, it's good for my mental and emotional health.
Oh yeah,
sit near the water. So you go dig your dirt. I'm gonna go look at the water.
I like the water too. Yeah, I just like outdoors. I mean, back to just like scientifically, you can look up all the reasons why we need the water, and I guess I shouldn't say you hate the dirt, because you enjoy some of the things that grow out of the dirt. So, we gravitate towards nature, even if we are self-proclaimed city girls. You just said it. I mean, you need to go near where there's nature. You need to get out of, the element of the city, even if you're a city girl, and be near something that is, nature. And I think we all kind of are there. And that's what I tell people, like, if you're having a bad day, if you had a stressful day at work, maybe, clients driving you crazy, or you whatever, I always tell people, like, walk outside, just go outside, just walk out, take yourself, walk out the door, stand out there for even just a few minutes. I'm not like Angela. I don't enjoy the cold. The cold comes and I get grouchy and I don't love it. However, I will still go outside. I spend a little bit of time outside every day, because just being outside in the fresh air and, it just does wonders for, how I feel overall. And then when you go back in, it's like hitting the reset button, and I just love that. And I love the idea that you mentioned about getting on YouTube and listening to sounds. There's actually there's called cymatics, like just the study of sound therapy. There's, again, scientific reasons why that is a good thing as well. I do use, when I go to sleep at night, I sleep with it's on Apple Music, but it is there's a lot of them, but it's 432 hertz. It's a certain frequency that's been shown to actually stimulate cell regeneration and all kinds of things. You have to look it up. But 432 hertz, that's another tool. I'm all for tangible tools to use in your business, but also tangible tools to make your life healthier, happier, and all the things. I think I like where this show went, honestly, just that we were able to talk about the things that we use within our own personal lives, as well as tools that we use specifically to do a task in our business, because we are part of our business. So if we're not functioning, appropriately, and we don't feel good about the day or whatever, then it's, then our business will definitely suffer. And I'm glad that you shared with us about your burnt eyelid, and I hope it gets a lot better.
Well, me too. And I think this is important to protect our personhood. That's like my thing this year has been like, yes, I'm the money honey, and I wholeheartedly want all my businesses to be profitable, and yours and whoever's out there, yours too. But I've experienced like very severe burnout, and that's like the quitting point, right? Like when you hit that peak, and it's winter time, so it's not as much sunlight, and that, like, it was the seasonal affective disorder is a thing. And I think that we talk about tools, people need support, and listening to a YouTube is kind of passive, but I just think that there needs to be more awareness that those things exist. And like when you're sitting in your office and you're stressed, change the tune. Like, I love rap music, and I like rap, like rap all the time. But I have found that when I'm really trying to get to the business, I need to like complement that with the opposite. So something slower. And that's actually how I found the YouTube sounds.
So I'm going to send you recordings of my elk horns, so you can be outside listening to really slow, long music.
You don't know unless you try it. I like 90s rap. That's my go-to. I'm old like that. So.
I can't focus when I'm doing that, though. I need the quiet behind me.
It depends. I go back and forth.
When I'm working.
I go back
if I'm cleaning the house or doing something else, that's different. So if it's physical labor, I need some energy. But if I'm trying to write, I need some quiet.
You know, hip hop and rap is like my culture. Well, not like my culture. It's so much a part of my culture. So, you know, it's just a thing. Like I can probably find a rap song to fit every part of my life. Heartbreak, love, you name it. You know, ready to get money. I'm amped up. There are songs I listen to. So, you know, I'm thankful that I found that love and connection to it.
It's awesome.
But I listen to all kind of music too, except for techno and country. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. I dropped a link of an article that I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's about the mental health strength of wandering in the woods and things like that. So if you want to take a read at some point.
I will, but I want you to know in advance, I'm not wandering in the woods with you.
Just maybe mentally. While you're listening to your waterfall music, then maybe that. How about that?
Look, but it's got the science of walking in the woods. You can listen to the story. There's, you know, it's got like the personal and the science, all the stuff that we try to do here. So
she's a little terrified,
but
I think we're going to end it there. That's fine.
No.
You can pretend to walk in the woods in your mind while you're listening to your waterfall music. It's all right. You'll be good. So we'll be back again next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another episode of Business Acceleration Playbook. Thank you so much, Chanel and Angela. This was a great discussion. Hopefully you all were able to pull some nuggets of awesome info out for you all to use within your own business and your own life. And look forward to seeing you all next week.
All right.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.